living in a society that is filled with weak men. We are living in a society where men are encouraged to show their sensitive side. Men are encouraged to act feminine. Men are constantly expressing their fake outrage, constantly looking for something so minor just to offend them. From the hours of noon to about 3 yesterday afternoon, I was in a bad mood. I was. My girlfriend, she likes watching sports with me. She watches all the Saints games, all 82 of the Pelicans games every year. Now, before the season started, she made a request. Win or lose, we have to watch all of the Saints games this season. Last year, I turned them off around week 8 because I just refused to watch garbage. It would be one thing if the Saints were losing while being entertaining, but this team is painful to watch. They are painfully boring. Around 2:30 yesterday afternoon, I changed the channel to NFL Red Zone. I told my girlfriend, I'm done. The rest of the season, it is 7 hours of Red Zone on Sunday. I'm not watching the Saints anymore unless something drastically changes. And by drastic change, I'm talking about firing the offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael. I mean, look at this dork. Does this look like a football coach to you? This dude looks like the doorman at 5-Star Frank's. Hey, it's me, Pete. Welcome to 5-Star Frank's, home of the supersized Frank and the undressed cucumber. If you're a VIP, I'll even let you put your pig in my blanket. Everyone in New Orleans right now is begging for Pete Carmichael to be fired. But the truth is, Petey is not the real problem here. You want to know the real problem in New Orleans? You have a weak man trying to lead a group of alpha males. What I saw yesterday and what I have seen the last 2 years, these players do not believe in Dennis Allen. No one follows the leadership of a weak man. Most women aren't attracted to sensitive dudes in a group of 53 dominant alpha males in an NFL locker room. They damn sure aren't following the leadership of a weak man. You look at successful head coaches, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, Jimmy Johnson. You know what they all have in common? They're all assholes. They don't put up with shit. Sean Payton, he would have had Pete Carmichael's boodle reamed so tight, he wouldn't be able to consume the pig in the blanket. What does Dennis Allen do yesterday when the New Orleans media asked about Pete Carmichael and his absolutely atrocious play calling? We're not going there. It wasn't Petey's fault. Our players weren't executing. Okay, fine. Let's blame the players. Why are they not executing? Why are they playing uninspired every week for the last 2 years? Because they have zero faith in this coaching staff. They have zero faith in the leadership of Dennis Allen. Weak men can't be leaders. It's just not possible. There is a reason that Dennis Allen is 17-40 as an NFL head coach. It's not because he's a loser. Dennis Allen is a great defensive coordinator, but one thing Dennis Allen will never be is a leader. Fortunately, though, for Dennis Allen, his weakness was overshadowed last night by the overwhelming sensitivity on woke Twitter and throughout the mainstream media. My God, I can't remember the last time that I have seen this much of an overreaction to a meaningless criticism, a meaningless remark. We all know by now that the mainstream media in America sucks. I mean, it sucks. But what is one of the biggest complaints that people have about the mainstream media? Lack of honesty, lack of authenticity. Everything seems so polished. People in the media, they are afraid to speak their minds because they're afraid to offend someone. It is rare that we see brutal honesty in the mainstream media, but Rodney Harrison, he gave us some brutal honesty last night. Chief Jets, that was the primetime matchup last night on Sunday Night Football, which, by the way, am I the only one who has this feeling that this relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is a publicity stunt? I don't like commenting on personal relationships, but something just doesn't seem right here. And the NFL needs to be careful because I have this underlying feeling that this constant promotion of Taylor Swift is going to backfire. This same thing happened in the late 2000s when Tony Romo was dating Jessica Simpson. I don't know, there's There's just something about this relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift that it just doesn't seem authentic. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe they'll get married and produce some super talented kids. But anyway, Chiefs, Jets, Sunday Night Football. Going into this game, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson, he has been absolutely demolished by everyone. Last week, Joe Namath pretty much called the kid a quitter. He told the New York media that Zach Wilson was quitting on plays. Now, as a professional athlete, hell, as an athlete at any level, the absolute worst thing you can be labeled is a quitter. Last night, Zach Wilson shocked the world by playing the best game of his career. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just go ask Mina Kimes. She will show you the stats, which clearly prove that Zach Wilson played the best game of his career last night, statistically. But once that clock expires, the only numbers that matter are on the scoreboard. Once again, Zach Wilson loses a game. Now, that being said, the kid played his heart out last night. I'm sure he earned the respect of some of the players in that locker room. But one magical game on Sunday Night Football, it doesn't erase the past 3 years. After the game, Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones, he joined the Sunday Night Football crew to talk about the game. Now, thankfully, Maria Taylor was not included. Rodney Harrison, he asked Chris Jones if the Zach Wilson that they just played against was different than the Zach Wilson that they seen on game film. Fair question, and the quick answer is no. The Zach Wilson that we saw last night hasn't been seen since last November when he pulled out a miracle and beat the Bills. Now, after this question, Rodney Harrison, he used a description that's often used to describe the WNBA dump, and he put that label on Zach Wilson. Now, hopefully NBC allows this to go through, but watch it for yourself.
Watching that tape, man, you got to look at this dude and say, oh, he is garbage. Like, we should really tear him apart earlier.
Like I said, Zach Wilson is special, man. You just got to give the guy time. You know what I mean?
Wait. Did you say Zach Wilson is special?
Yeah.
I think he had a special night, but I don't think he's special.
Now, just in case the clip doesn't go through, Rodney Harrison, he said Zach Wilson was garbage. Oh no, he can't call him garbage. That's unacceptable. That term can only be used to describe the elite athleticism that we see in the WNBA. Was Rodney Harrison trying to bait Chris Jones here to talking a little trash about Zach Wilson? Yes. Did it work? Obviously not. Chris Jones, he took the high road, which is fine. That's okay. But my thing is, what is the problem here? At the end of the day, the NFL is entertainment. There is nothing wrong with trash talking. There's nothing wrong with the media trying to pit two players or two teams against each other. Hell, the sports media, they have been doing that for decades, but now all of a sudden it's a problem? If you judge this situation solely by the reactions on Twitter and the mainstream media, you would think that Rodney Harrison just ended Zach Wilson's career. Check out some of these reactions for yourself. Zach Wilson is special. Anyone who plays in the NFL is special. Here we go again with the participation trophies. In my lifetime, there have been thousands of players in the NFL. You know how many of those players are special? The top 5%. The shitfucks on Twitter, they are trying to make this personal. They're claiming that Rodney Harrison has some deep-seated hatred towards Zach Wilson. There was nothing personal about his criticism. He wasn't criticizing Zach Wilson, the person, the man. He was criticizing Zach Wilson, the player, the quarterback. There's a huge difference. I'm sure if you polled fans of the New York Jets, the vast majority of them would probably agree with Rodney Harrison. I would be willing to bet most of them have said the same thing about Zach Wilson publicly. But check out this reaction from Matt Leinart, who jumped on the bruised caboose. It's not our job in the media to rip these guys apart. Stephen A. Smith has made a career of ripping into athletes. Hell, the only reason Skip Bayless is famous is because of his unhealthy obsession with LeBron James. Now, was Rodney Harrison's criticism of Zach Wilson, was it harsh? Sure. But at least he was being honest. At least he was being authentic, which is something that is severely lacking in the mainstream media. Believe it or not, there are people begging for NBC to punish Rodney Harrison over this. Really? Really? Here we go again with the censorship of free speech. We want to punish an NFL analyst for giving his opinion of an NFL player? Really? Let me ask you this. Where was this same fake outrage when the entire media was trying to destroy Aaron Rodgers? You guys remember that? Aaron Rodgers, he refused to get poked by the Fauci and the mainstream media. They were acting like he was endangering the welfare of millions of children. Oh, the children! It's all about the safety of the children! The media tried to demonize Aaron Rodgers. They tried to turn the entire country against him, all because he made a personal decision about his own body, all because he wanted to make the decision when it came to his own health care. That criticism was okay. That was perfectly acceptable. It was okay for the media to demonize Aaron Rodgers. It was okay for the media to criticize his personal decisions. But when Rodney Harrison calls the play of Zach Wilson garbage, that is no bueno. This is also the same media that brutally criticizes Donald Trump. Orange man bad. Donald Trump has been called a hell of a lot worse by the media than just garbage. Hell, they create fake stories about him with no basis in fact. It doesn't make sense to me, but what the hell do I know? I'm not a shit fuck. I just don't understand the fake outrage here. Joe Namath calls Zach Wilson... He basically calls him a quitter. No one cares. Hell, most of the New York media agreed with Joe Namath. Rodney Harrison calls him garbage. Bring out the emotional support shovels. Oh, this is so painful. What's ironic about this? Some of the same people who claim to be triggered over Rodney Harrison calling Zach Wilson garbage, they're calling Rodney Harrison an asshole. You know what? I would rather deal with an honest asshole than a fake outrager. I'd rather someone give me their brutally honest opinion than beat me over the head with the emotional support shovel. I know you threw 3 interceptions, but it's okay. You played a great game. At least you tried. We have got to get over the sensitivity in this country. If you're this offended by Rodney Harrison claiming that the play of Zach Wilson is garbage, Rodney Harrison ain't the problem. You're the problem. Me personally, I think Zach Wilson has potential. Now, he often sucks right now, but he does show flashes of brilliance. I don't necessarily agree with Rodney Harrison. I don't think Zach Wilson is garbage. If you want to see garbage, go watch the Saints offense under the lead garbage man, Pete Carmichael. But I don't have to agree with Rodney Harrison to defend his right to say it. We can't keep punishing people over words. We can't keep punishing people over criticism. If you're in the public eye, you're going to get criticized. It's just that simple. But give me your thoughts. Rodney Harrison calls Zach Wilson garbage and the media displays their fake outrage. The same media who demonized Aaron Rodgers for not getting poked by the Fauci. The same media who is constantly making up stories about Donald Trump. That same media gets in their feelings because Rodney Harrison called Zach Wilson garbage. Let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate each one of you guys and your support. Follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys later.